Round 1.
In the first round, we have Megaman 10 by Capcom. This review is for the Wii version, but the title is also available on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Now, as with every Mega Man game before it, you all know the drill. There are 8 new Robot Masters, and Dr. Wily is back once again to foil the super fighting robot's quest to stop evil. The storyline is about a robot virus that Dr. Wily created, called Roboenza, which kind of reminds me a little bit of the Maverick virus, or the swine flu, whichever you prefer. You can select from Mega Man, Proto Man, and Base, who is unlockable after purchasing the game's downloadable content. Now keep in mind, if you want to place on the leaderboards, you can only play as Mega Man to go through the game to do so. However, good luck getting first place on the leaderboards because the fucking hackers have dominated the board with clear times of 2 minutes or less. Assholes. New to this game is the inclusion of an easy mode. Now hopefully this should bring in new players who were formerly scared by the challenging gameplay the series is notorious for. There's also a hard mode, which is unlocked after beating the game on normal difficulty. Now, in general, this game offers more of the same, and if you enjoyed Mega Man 9, you're going to enjoy Mega Man 10. In terms of overall difficulty, I'd say that this game is easier than Mega Man 9 if you're playing on normal difficulty, but hard mode is a different monster entirely. There's more enemies, and the Robot Masters have more attacks. It's nuts. Now the shop is back, where you spend collected screws to purchase a slew of helpful items, and the challenge mode is returned as well, but this time it's much more robust. Aside from the challenges obtained from playing the game, there are also challenges you can select individually. These are short challenges, and they're not worth anything, but they do provide lots of replay value and lots of dick wagging. The time attack mode has returned as well for those itching to do some speedruns, so that's a bonus. Now I gotta say, my only complaint with the game is the music. I enjoyed probably 2 tracks total, and I felt the overall soundtrack was lacking the same effort that the soundtrack in Mega Man 9 had. It's just my opinion, but there aren't too many memorable tunes here. Now for the level design, I don't think it's as enjoyable as Mega Man 9, but it's still quite good, and provides a very satisfying challenge. There are 3 DLC special stages as well, but they weren't available at the time of this review, so I can't really comment on them, but I'm sure they're fun. Now the total amount for the game if you purchase it with DLC will be 2,000 Wii points or $20. Now is it worth it? Is it worth your money? Well, if you're a die-hard Mega Man fan, I'd say you'd be a fool to pass on this one.
Round 2.
Up in round 2, we have No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle for the Nintendo Wii. Travis Touchdown is back to climb the rankings and become the #1 assassin once again. Suda51 has really upped the violence and gore in this one, and has offered us tons of fun side games as well. The story takes place 3 years after the first game, where Skelter Helter, the younger brother of Helter Skelter, seeks revenge on Travis for killing his older brother. After Travis defeats him and decapitates him, Sylvia, the skank, returns to let him know that he is now ranked 51st. Now I'm going to stop right there because I don't want to spoil the story for anyone, as it's really quite enjoyable, even if it is a bit flawed. The bosses are just as enjoyable as the ones from the previous game, so don't worry, there's no letdowns there. Easily the best part of this game, in my opinion, is its boss fights. I'll only show the first fight as I don't want to spoil the experience for anyone. You can even turn into a tiger this time around through the use of the slot machine system. Fucking awesome. Now the motorcycle parts of the game where you ride around town to your destination have been removed, and they've been replaced by a world map where you simply choose your next destination and it takes you there automatically. Good riddance. I found the world map to be a very welcome addition. All the annoying money quests are gone too, and you no longer have to pay to enter your next ranking battle, which I thought was stupid as hell anyway. Again, good riddance. Now there are 2 playable characters besides Travis Touchdown, though they have small roles. If you want to know who they are, look it up. Again, don't want to spoil anything. The new side jobs to earn money are all in 8-bit format, and they are pretty damn fun for the most part. The only exception is the 3D Scorpion side job, which sucks shit. I fucking hated it. You can also train with the effeminate gym trainer to boost your stats, and all of those training games are 8-bit as well, and they're really fun. Weapons can no longer be upgraded, unfortunately, but you can purchase some once you have enough money. You can buy clothes and customize Travis's appearance once again as well, if you're into that sort of thing. I didn't get into it too much. But Perhaps my favorite thing in Travis's apartment is getting the cat into shape. It takes a while to get the cat in perfect shape and health, but it's so hilariously enjoyable, especially lifting the little fatty up over and over and over. Now there's also all sorts of things for you to collect that end up in your apartment which are useless, like little things that go up on the walls and whatnot. But there's also a fake anime series called Bizarre Jelly 5, which includes 5 females and a music video that you can watch, as well as a playable shooting game, which is actually pretty damn fun. Beating that on different difficulties will, fetch you some unlocks and whatnot. Now, as I said, I don't want to spoil the game too much, so I'll just wrap it up and say that the game has a very quirky sense of humor. The controls are just as good, a little bit of improvement on those, definitely with the motion controls. You can play with the classic controller this time, which is fucking perfect for me. Improved graphics, the soundtrack is great, lots of tracks to use from special No More Heroes soundtrack that was released in Japan, and there's tons and tons of sexual innuendo, just like in the last game. I gotta say that this one complements the first game in so many ways, and in my opinion, it's a must-buy. It's available now, so pick it up.
Final round.
Let's wrap things up for today with Illusion of Gaia for the Super Nintendo. A genuine Enix classic before they merged with Square and everything went to hell. Can you believe in my 3 years of game reviewing, I've never once reviewed an RPG or even an action RPG? Shit. Well, this is an action RPG in which you control a young boy named Will. Will stumbles into a dark door where he meets a being named Gaia, and Gaia warns Will of an approaching comet. Later on you discover that the comet's actually an ancient weapon that was used during the last Blazer War, which is a direct reference to the game Soul Blazer. Soul Blazer is said to be the first game in this series, with the third game being Terranigma, and the fourth being the Grand Stream Saga. Now upon your journey, you'll travel with your friends including Seth, Lance, Eric, as well as Princess Kara and Lily, who can transform herself into a dandelion puff. The game is very fast-paced, with simple but fun combat. The amount of enemies are displayed in the map screen, and killing them will award you with different stat boosts as well as access to locked or hidden areas. The game lets you visit several real-life historical places, which is pretty cool. The game is set on Earth, but it's its own special twist on Earth. On your journey, you'll visit the Incan ruins, the Great Wall of China, the Egyptian pyramids, and even the Tower of Babel, or Babel, whichever you prefer to say. The Dark Door, which you'll go through a lot in this game, it lets you save as well as restore your health. But later on you'll receive the option to transform into one of 2 other characters. Freedan, who will be the character on the left, wields a sword and has longer range attacks. And the other, being Shadow, can transform and sink through floors, as well as throw fire birds. But Shadow is such a tease because you don't really even get to use him until right near the end of the game, so kinda sucks. There's only one side quest in the game, so there isn't really much in terms of replay value, but there's these hidden red jewels throughout the game, and collecting them will award you with stat boosts, special attacks, and the biggest bonus, the extra area, where you end up fighting a very familiar boss. Well, familiar if you've played through the Soul Blazer game, that is. There's 50 of them in total, so once you start collecting them, find the red jewel dealer. Do not release them into the sky like a jackass, because you just screw yourself over. Now, the game displays beautiful and very colorful 2D graphics, and quite a brilliant soundtrack, with many memorable tunes. The game is a wonderful ride with a somewhat dark and somewhat controversial story in some areas. If you don't know what I mean, go back and play the game, because a lot of people probably might not get that. But overall, I gotta say it's one of my all-time favorite action RPG games, and I highly recommend it to anyone interested in a refreshing classic. Well, that about wraps up the second episode of KGR. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all again when episode 3 hits the web. Until next time, game on.